Couch Sessions. My name is Mugambi Kithinji. Couch Sessions are a platform where we talk, we get to nurture ourselves, and most importantly, we get to better our lives. I'm sure after each and every episode, your life will be better. So sit back, relax, and I hope you'll enjoy this episode. Welcome again. We are now at episode 4. I thank you for being with me since the beginning, and each time you come back to listen, I appreciate. And as I usually say, I hope each episode leaves you positive than you were before. While I'm recording this week is a very sad time, especially for us in the hip hop world, because yet another rapper has been gunned down. His name is Takeoff from the group Migos. From Couch Sessions to his family and friends, we pass our condolences, because it's usually sad when you hear that a young person has died. And for me, I believe that young people have not yet reached their pinnacle, they have not yet achieved the great things that they wanted to do for their lives, because their lives have been cut short, and that one has really hit hard. Actually, it has inspired what I'm talking about this week. I'm talking about social stratification, the elevation syndrome. This is because for the last 4 to 5 years, I've been analyzing what has been causing the death of many rappers in the world. And while I'm analyzing, I've really realized that it's usually people who feel jealous. They feel, why have you achieved more than I do? Why are you more successful than your friends in the place that you came from? You find that those people feel jealous. They feel like those opportunities, they also deserve them, and you are the one who has gotten them. And once you have gotten them, now they take those guns, they plot on you, they decide to take your life. And if you can see from the story of Nipsey Hussle to now Takeoff to what happened to Triple X, which is very sad. And condolences to all. I'm not talking about this maybe to gain followers, maybe to gain new listeners. I'm doing this in order to educate us, in order to change the society, because it starts by tackling the deeper and the hard issues that affect us. And I believe not only doesn't it happen in the hip hop world, it happens in life in general. You find that a brother feels jealous that his brother is more successful. You find a sister feeling, why are my sister's children getting better treatment? Why is my sister living in a better place? Why are my friends driving better cars, yet we started together? Why have my friends gotten work, yet we graduated together? This life is not fair to me. And once you find that, you find people now start gossiping, start talking bad about someone. I'm sure in our recent news you've been able to see what has been happening. Friends plotting on friends. You find wives killing husbands. Like what Nyota Ndogo sang some few years ago. She told to her friend her story of her work, but instead of her friend being happy, her friend was sad. In the song, Kuna Watu na Viatu. You should actually listen to it, because it also reflects what I'm discussing today: social stratification, the elevation syndrome. And as I've said, the beginning is usually people feeling that, why have you gotten those opportunities and I've not gotten them? Now that leads to the second point, which is about life. Life is like a book, like what Takeoff was saying some few years ago and also some few days ago, that not everybody should be part of every stage. There are people who should be at the beginning, there are people who should be at the middle, and there are people who should be at the end. And there are people who should start with you and also should end with you. The biggest challenge that we find is that people won't always be with you from the beginning until the end. Actually, it's Snoop Dogg who said the more he got successful or the more opportunities came, his gap between himself and those whom he was with grew significantly. And usually find once the gap grows significantly, people start wondering why those opportunities are coming to you. Why have you distanced yourself from them? And once you distance yourself from them, they feel that you have an ego, you are outgrowing them, which is actually good. As the saying usually says, new levels come with new devils, and for each new stage you have to think differently. And even the holy book, the Bible, tells us that when you're a child you think like a child, when you become an adult you start thinking like an adult, which is something that we should practice. It's not bad to cut off, it's not bad to pick new things, new friends, because sometimes those that are with you or at that situation are the ones that are pulling you behind. In order for you to become successful, you need to sacrifice, you need to push off, and with that it brings the whole elevation syndrome. Most of us growing, we knew that in order for us to be successful, we have to be the ones in front, we have to always be the ones getting the A's, we have to be the ones at stardom points, for which I don't necessarily have to agree with, because I believe, let's say for example, like a production, in order for like a movie or like a song to become successful, there's usually a producer, there's a cameraman, there's the A&R, maybe there's even the person for stunt work, and you see all of them part and parcel, they create the whole movie, they create the whole song. And usually we celebrate those ones who are in front, we forget who have done the work behind the scenes. And with that, now it brings the whole elevation syndrome, because maybe the person who's behind the scenes, they feel that they have done a lot of work, and you who's on the forefront is getting the whole appraisal, the whole accolades, while them, nobody even recognizes them. And once they feel they're not recognized, they want to take you off the spot, because they feel that they also deserve that kind of treatment, which I would like for our society to look at things differently. Let us celebrate everyone, let us appreciate each and everyone's contribution towards success, because for example, a musician, it requires a whole team in order for him or her to become the superstar that they are. And actually the people who are behind the scenes are the ones who play a lot of roles. Like for us in the media, there are people who do camera work, there are people who go outsourcing the stories, there are people who write the scripts, there are people who edit. And sometimes we just look at the presenters and we think, those are the only ones who are successful, or the ones that deserve the praise, which is something that should change. So I hope from what I've talked about on today's episode, you've been able to learn, you've been able to pick some few points here and there. And as we mourn, we should also reflect, we should also start thinking differently, so that we can reduce the number of cases of people who are dying, and also we can change our society. Yeah.